Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. I cannot believe they are doing this to her. I am sitting here typing this up late at night, absolutely fuming after watching the latest episode, and I just need to get this out of my system before I explode. Seriously, am I the only one who is seeing the massive glaring red flags waving right in our faces? I mean, we all watched the episode, right? We all saw what just happened. And I am sorry, but I refuse to sit back and watch one of the most iconic, legendary women in Salem get played for a fool. I just can't. Because after everything she has been through, after the absolute heartbreak of losing the love of her life, she deserves peace. But no, the writers just have to throw another sketchy guy into the mix. Okay, wait, let me back up and explain what I'm actually screaming about before I lose my mind completely. I am talking about Julie Williams and this whole situation with Foster. Yes, Foster, the seemingly sweet, mild-mannered older gentleman who runs the used bookstore. On the surface, he looks like a harmless, charming guy who just wants to read paperbacks and take our beloved Julie out for a nice evening. But let's be real for a second. This is Salem. Nobody is just a sweet, mild-mannered guy. There is always an angle. And the more I watch this guy, the more my stomach turns. I've been watching this show for years, and my intuition is screaming that Foster is a total gold digger. Remember when they tried this exact same storyline with Maggie Kyriakis? Yeah, didn't work then either. Let's take a trip down memory lane to the absolute disaster that was Konstantin Meliunas. Oh my gosh, my blood pressure still spikes just thinking about him. Konstantin came into town playing the grieving, innocent old friend card. He manipulated Maggie when she was incredibly vulnerable after losing Victor. He was Kat Green's grandfather, and he spun this massive, ridiculous web of lies about John Black supposedly killing his daughter. He almost got Maggie down the aisle. Thank goodness Maggie's BS detector finally kicked in and she dumped him before the wedding. But Konstantin was obvious. He oozed villainy. Foster? Foster is playing the long game, and it is so much more insidious because he is flying completely under the radar. So let's look at the facts. Let's look at the actual math here. Because the math ain't mathin'. Foster has chronic kidney disease. Okay, sad, tragic. I feel for the guy if it's actually true. Because of these massive medical bills, he is having severe financial difficulties. So what happens? He has to put his beloved bookstore up for sale. And who swoops in to buy it? Julie Williams, the wealthy, generous, grieving widow who just wants to help out a guy she's known for years as a loyal customer. She buys the bookstore. He gets the cash from the sale, but he still works there. And now, suddenly, after the ink is dry and she is officially his boss and savior, he starts putting the romantic moves on her. I mean, come on. Are we supposed to believe this is just a beautiful coincidence? And it absolutely kills me because Julie is usually the smartest woman in the room. She has the best intuition in Salem. She can spot a scammer from a mile away. But grief does terrible things to a person's judgment. She is so lonely without Doug. Oh, Doug. Just typing his name makes me want to cry. Bill Hayes was a legend, and Doug and Julie are the ultimate super couple. Nobody will ever replace Doug Williams in her heart, or in ours. But she is vulnerable right now. She is looking for companionship, for someone who shares her love of literature and history. And Foster is slipping right into that void, using her good nature against her. Let's talk about this first date. The jalapeno poppers, the karaoke. I was cringing so hard I had to hide behind a throw pillow. Julie eating cheese-stuffed jalapenos is hilarious. I'll give them that. But the karaoke thing really got me. Foster pushes her to do karaoke, and Julie, bless her heart, shuts it down because she was married to a professional singer. Her prejudices and her fierce loyalty to Doug's memory flared right up. She basically said she wouldn't dare insult Doug's legacy by singing karaoke. And honestly, if Doug were here, he would probably laugh and tell her to get up on that stage and sing her heart out. Every singer has to start somewhere, right? But the fact that Foster is pushing her out of her comfort zone while simultaneously playing the poor sick old man card is just weird. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's focus on the money aspect again, because that is the real issue here. Salem is full of rich widows, and they are basically walking targets. We've seen it with Maggie, we've seen it with Marlena, we've seen it with Kate. It's like there's a neon sign over the town limit saying vulnerable wealthy women here, but Julie has the Williams and Horton fortunes backing her up. If Foster's chronic kidney disease is real, those medical bills are going to keep piling up. Is he going to start dropping hints about needing experimental treatments? Is he going to ask her to co-sign a loan? Or is he just going straight for the inheritance? Let me tell you, I have been watching this show since the days when Bo and Hope were riding motorcycles around the world, and I know a scam artist when I see one. Foster's playing the long con. Think about it. He owned that bookstore for years. He watched Julie come in and out. He learned her habits, her likes, her dislikes. He knew exactly how to play the damsel in distress card, but as a man, he knew if he mentioned his failing health and his financial ruin, Julie's giant Horton heart would bleed for him. So she buys the store. Boom. Step one complete. Now he has her money from the sale, and he still gets to hang around the store playing the grateful employee. It is sickeningly brilliant. And let's talk about the sheer audacity of trying to replace Doug Williams. I mean, nobody can. But Foster is trying to step into the role of the devoted partner, and it just feels so hollow. Doug was larger than life. He was a showman, a romantic, a man who loved Julie with a fiery passion that lit up our screens for decades. Foster? Foster is a guy who pushes her to sing karaoke and feeds her bar food. The contrast is jarring. I get that they are trying to show Julie trying new things, stepping out of her comfort zone, but it feels forced. It feels like Foster is trying to mold her into someone she isn't, just to see how much control he has over her. If she yields on the karaoke, what else will she yield on? Her bank accounts? Her estate planning? I am honestly terrified that we are going to get a scene where Foster suddenly collapses, clutches his side, and gasps that he needs a kidney transplant that costs millions of dollars on the black market or something wild like that. Because this is Days of Our Lives, and they are going to take the medical drama to the absolute extreme. And Julie, being the fiercely loyal woman she is, will probably try to write him a blank check. I can already see the tearful hospital scenes, the dramatic music, the whole 9 yards. And I am preemptively angry about it. I know some people are loving this, but personally, I am dreading it. I see fans on the forums saying, "Oh, it's so sweet that Julie is finding love again. Foster is so gentle." No. Wake up, people. You are falling for the act just like Julie is. The guy sold her his business and is now trying to get into her bank accounts through her heart. It is classic manipulation. He knows she is rich. He knows she is lonely. He knows she is a good person who wants to take care of people. It is a recipe for absolute disaster. And where is her family in all of this? Where is Eli? Where is Lonnie? Where is Maggie? Somebody needs to step in and run a background check on this guy immediately! I need Black Patch on this yesterday. Brady and Steve need to pull Foster's medical records and financial history. I bet you anything they will find a string of wealthy widows in his past, or maybe his kidney disease is completely fabricated. I am predicting right now that during the July sweeps, this is going to blow up in a massive way. Foster's going to make a play for her money, and Julie's going to have her heart broken all over again. I just want Julie to be happy. I really do. I want her to have companionship and someone to share her golden years with. But I do not want her to be a victim. The writers better not make her look stupid. Julie Williams is a powerhouse, and if Foster really is a gold digger, I hope she figures it out herself and absolutely destroys him. I want her to publicly humiliate him in the middle of Horton Town Square. Throw a jalapeno popper right in his face. Julie, we are rooting for you, but please, open your eyes.